to Fearless Friday, your day to reclaim your weekend and your life. I'm Flora with the FloraSageTherapiesInstitute.com. Today we're going to talk a little bit more about the journey versus the destination, which is what we spoke about last week. But this week we're going to go more into the going through the motions part of the journey. Now many times we really want to just hurry up and finish with whatever it is that we're doing, hence getting to the destination. Now this is, work, it's any type of task, our home life, or our entire life. Now if you think about a waitress who really hates the world when she's in the back kitchen and she's just like, hating everybody, hating all the customers and whatnot, and then when she goes out on the floor she's all, well hello, and she's all fabulous and roses and smiles and all this other stuff. And think about how many times we choose to discount our feelings or to hide or dampen our feelings and put on a happy face. And we choose to go through the motions instead of actually going through the emotions of the situation. So this week's challenge is to feel out our emotions during the day. Notice when you start to go through the motions, where you start to feel one way, but put on that happy face and go through another type of emotion, or go through another type of motion without actually feeling the underlying emotions that are coming through. Now this is a really good way to start to learn to become very authentic to yourself. When you start to go through the motions and start to, what I think is invalidating your feelings because you're not honoring them. What happens when we start to really go through the motions and we start to discount the emotions, we start to disconnect and disassociate ourselves with our life. And that's when you can really get caught up in the rat race and start to get lulled to sleep in life. And one of the ways that we can counteract that is start to really check in with ourselves and honor the emotions that we're having when we have them. And if it's not the perfect time to articulate them, that's okay. Pull back and say, okay, how am I feeling? Why am I feeling this way? And give yourself permission to articulate it out loud to yourself first before you share with anyone about why you're feeling the way that you are, how you're feeling, why you think you're feeling this way. And that way, many times if we allow ourselves to pull back and say, why am I feeling this way? Okay, so let's go back to the waitress. If all of a sudden she would stop and say, why am I so pissed off? Maybe she doesn't like her work. Maybe she doesn't like her job. So she should ask herself, why am I at this position if I really hate the customers? You know what I mean? So if you find yourself starting to go through the motions and start to invalidate the feelings that you're feeling and kind of put on that happy face, give yourself permission to step back and check in with yourself and say, why am I choosing to not honor the feelings that I'm feeling? Why am I choosing to numb out and try to just hurry up and get to the destination instead of enjoying the journey that I'm on? Okay? And learning to articulate how you feel will really allow you and your life to become so much more fluid and so much more authentic. And you owe this world you and your authentic self. Every single one of us came into this world being our authentic self, and somewhere along the lines we learned to discount our emotions and to discount our feelings and to start go through the motions. And when we stop going through the motions and really start to experience the emotions that we're feeling, that's when we can really become fearlessly inspired. Well, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends on Facebook, Twitter, or any other social media site. Also, head on over to FloraPeterson.com for your free Fearlessly Inspired e-kit. Also, if you've really loved this video, go ahead and click subscribe so you won't miss one single episode of Fearless Friday. Until next week, I'm wishing you a fearless and fabulous week. Bye-bye.